Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're having an amazing day and welcome to another video by Sandwich.
So guys, in this video we're going to be talking about how to stay focused on a work in a world full of distractions. So the first, without further ado, let's start this because this is a very interesting topic I believe, and you must be definitely interested in knowing about, how to keep yourself focused on work, how to be productive, even if you're surrounded by all these distractions. So the first, tip that I would share with you is raise accountability by sharing your schedule, right? So what you can do is make things public, okay? Go speak to people, say that, I'm going to do this. By the end of the day, I'm going to accomplish this. By the end of the day, I'm going to complete this or this, right? So when you set targets, and perhaps you make it public, when people knows about it, you think that you have to be accountable now, you have to be answerable if you don't achieve the target. So in that case, you have to put in the effort in order to complete the task. So what you can do is go ahead, publicize things. You can go to your friends and go to your parents and say to them, mom, by the end of the day I'm gonna do this. Or if your friends, so friend, by the end of the day, you're gonna see that I have completed this, I've done that, okay? And perhaps if I don't do, that I am not an accountable person. So you also, take some kind of a bad name on you if you're not able to accomplish it for any given reason. So in that case, you would definitely put in the effort. You have the thing in mind that I have to work, because if I don't, I lose my title, right? So you have to, you can raise your accountability by sharing your schedule, and this will perhaps help you to be focused on your work, even if you're surrounded by all these distractions. Now the second tip that I will share with you is schedule time for browsing the internet. Okay, don't just sit over with your laptop or your PC and start browsing the internet doing your research. Have a schedule for it, like give it a dedicated time, like you take like 10 minutes for your research, or like 15 minutes or half an hour for research, and you're gonna not spare any second extra on the same work of browsing the internet. That's your time frame that you have assigned yourself, and you have to get the work done in that time frame. So that's what you have to do, right? Schedule an hour. Perhaps you have to also schedule a time in the way that you say that the morning time is when I can browse the internet. Okay, I can browse the internet and I get all the necessary info, and evening time I'm gonna do all those report preparation works, or maybe whatever work you've got, whatever work you're gonna do with the piece of information that you have just collected browsing the internet. So you have to basically create a schedule for the same, and you have to try to be super sticking to it. Okay, you have to stick to the schedule that you prepare. So that's what I would recommend you. And the next thing that I would highly suggest you is keep your phone away when working, because phone creates distraction. The moment you're working and you get a notification, you would definitely you would be tempted to have a look at your phone. What's the notification, who's there sending you DMs, and if you got a mail, maybe you're checking on messages, you're checking on social media. So there's a hell lot of distractions when you keep the phone with you. So when you're working, please make sure that you're keeping your phone away, quite at a distance from you, when you're working, because this is going to create a distraction, at least for a given time frame. Okay, like if you are working dedicatedly for like 30 minutes, so keep the phone away for 30 minutes. You can then after 30 minutes you take a 5 minutes break, and you can check out your phone, if you've got any important notification, etc., right? So you can also keep the time to check a phone, and perhaps when you're working, just keep the phone away from yourself. Now the next thing that I would highly suggest you is use headphones to block any background noise. Okay, so when you're working, you can like just plug in your headphones. I also don't suggest you to play music, because music can also get can create distractions for you, because you tend to go with the flow of the music. So what you can do is you can just plug in your headphones, and you don't have to play any music. You just it's just the headphones that are plugged in, and it just acts as a soundproof thing for you. Okay, it blocks the sound, and perhaps when you get less sound in your ear, you are less distracted, you are more focused towards work. You keep thinking about the work and just keep working, and you just forget about the rest of the world. So that's what you can do. Okay, just put in your headphones, just block the background noises, just to save yourself from any unwanted distraction. Now the next thing what you can follow is ensure that your workspace is quite organized. Okay, if you tend to work in a messy room, okay, where things are messed up, you know that you don't have the right work environment, okay. So you need a work environment, so you need to create the work environment. You need to create the workspace for yourself, work in a place, keep, even the place where you're working, keep it quite organized, keep it clean, keep it neat, keep it tidy, and keep things quite organized. Like you have your setup, your PC setup, you have the necessary things like your water bottle, etc. So you don't even have to run every time to grab a glass of water. So you can keep a water bottle with you, and perhaps your notebooks, etc. You can keep them all at one place. You can basically keep things quite organized, okay. When you keep things organized, you feel good inside, and you tend to be more focused, than rather than working in any kind of environment where the things are quite messed up, right? So the sixth tip for today would be focus on one thing at a time. Most of the hustlers, what they do is they take up so much work at once, and they like they'd be deviating their time, like, okay, for 5 minutes I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to shift to this, I'll again shift to that work, and then I'll get back to it. So you don't have to do that. Stay focused on just one particular thing, just one particular task that you're doing, complete it, then move on to the next one, okay. So that's what I would suggest, because in that case you would have certain tasks completed. Instead of keeping things hanging around in between, keeping things incomplete, what you can do is you can complete one task, then move on to the next task, okay. So this is very important. Please keep that in mind. Don't keep jumping from one task to another, okay, just because you feel that you can do multitasking. Multitasking is a whole new other concept, okay. It doesn't mean that you keep jumping from one task to another, so therefore just try to complete your task once, and then move on to the next task, whatever it is. Now the seventh or the last second tip that I will give you for today is refresh your mind by moving your body, okay. If you are sitting in one place for long hours and just working, you can never be focused. You won't feel that zeal to work, okay. So in order to keep yourself moving, what you have to do is just get up, have maybe a round of your room, okay. Maybe you can go to the kitchen, okay, see what your mom's preparing for dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever it is, whatever time it is, and maybe you can just go outside, have some fresh air, come back to your room, and then start working back again. This would refresh your mind, and perhaps this would help you to be more focused, right? And the last tip for today that I would suggest to you is that keep a notebook nearby to write down your personal thoughts, wherever you think, because most times what happens is that when you're working, you get lost in your thoughts, and you don't even realize that you've used so much of your time just overthinking or just daydreaming. So what you can do is you can keep a notebook, and as soon as you have a thought, you just write it down. When you share things, you tend to feel yourself more lighter, and perhaps that thought also leaves you. It doesn't it doesn't stay with you for too long. So what you can do is you can keep a notebook, you can write it down, your thoughts, and perhaps that will save you from being distracted for a longer time. And you would soon realize that these are just your thoughts that you were having, and perhaps you can start avoiding them, right? So that's what I would suggest you, and perhaps this is something that you should be following, because in that way you would also learn to share your thoughts in a better way. You keep a notebook where you have all your thoughts written down, what exactly you're thinking at a particular time, so basically this will also help you for your personal growth, I would say. And so yeah, here were the 8 tips that I shared with you today, and this were the tips that you can follow in order to stay more focused on your work, wherever you are. Maybe you are surrounded with too much of distractions. You can follow these tips, and I'm pretty much sure these tips are gonna definitely help you out. So go ahead, check them out, okay. And if you like the video, then do make sure to drop a thumbs up, and if you got any comments, if you got any queries, just make sure to drop them down in the comment section. We'll be very happy reading them out, and I'll see you in some other video. Till then,
Take care, and bye bye.